When you hear the word Buddha, what pops into your head? For most of us, it's an image of perfect peace, something, sacred and way up there. And then, well, there's us, sentient beings just trying to get through the day. It feels like there's this massive, uncrossable gap between the two, right?
And yeah, this is pretty much how we box them in our minds. Over here, you've got the Buddha, pure, awakened, basically the finish line. And on the other side, there's the sentient being, that's you and me, seen as flawed, deluded, kind of stuck. We create this neat little pyramid where one is way up on a pedestal, and the other, well, that's just our messy reality. But here's the thought. What if that huge gap is just an illusion? What if the only thing separating them is the way we're looking at things? There's a classic Zen story that totally flips this idea on its head, and it's fantastic. So our story takes us back to the Song dynasty in China, and it's about this legendary friendship between two incredible people. A super famous scholar named Su Dongpo, who was known for being brilliant and quick-witted, and the deeply wise Zen master Foyin. Okay, so picture this. They're meditating together one afternoon. Su Dongpo, who loved a good mental sparring match, decides to break the silence and pose a little test. He asks, "Master, what do I look like to you today?" Zen Master Foyin opens his eyes, sees his friend sitting there in meditation, and coming from his own peaceful state of mind, he just answers honestly. He says, "You look like a dignified Buddha," because that's genuinely what he saw, the stillness and potential in his friend. So Su Dongpo's feeling pretty good about himself, kind of puffing his chest out. But before he can even enjoy the moment, the Zen master just calmly asks him the exact same question back. "And what do I look like to you?" And this is his moment. He thinks he's finally got him. Su Dongpo laughs and fires back with what he thinks is a killer comeback, completely sure he's won their little game for the day. And all the while, Master Foyin just smiles. Later, Su Dongpo rushes home, so excited to brag to his sister about how he finally outsmarted the Zen master. But his sister, who's just as sharp, sees right through it. She looks at him and says, "Oh, you lost again, and this time, it's worse than ever. The master's heart is full of Buddha, so of course he sees a Buddha. Your heart is full of dung, so that is all you can see." Wow. In just one sentence, she shows him he didn't win anything. He just revealed what was inside his own mind. And that's the whole point, isn't it? This isn't just some clever little story. It's a mirror. It's telling us that what we perceive in the world around us isn't really about the world. It's a direct reflection of our own inner state. And that one idea just shatters our old definitions of Buddha versus sentient being. Okay, so if it's all about our perception, what's actually different between the two? Because while the story shows us this deep shared essence, Buddhist thought is also super clear about the actual differences in how they experience life. Let's break down the three main distinctions. At first glance, the contrast looks huge. A sentient being is considered to be in a state of delusion, with a mind that's all tangled up in cravings and dislikes, and that inner turmoil keeps them trapped in a cycle of suffering. A Buddha, on the other hand, is someone who has woken up from all that. Their mind is clear, luminous, and perfect, which means they're completely free from that cycle. These aren't just labels, they're fundamentally different ways of experiencing reality itself. Now, looking at that table, you'd think the gap is impossible to cross. But here's the twist. If we only focus on what makes them different, we're missing the entire point, the most profound teaching of all. The real truth isn't in what separates them. The real truth is found when you realize they are, at their core, just two sides of the exact same coin. One isn't the opposite of the other. They're connected. They're inseparable. The sixth patriarch of Zen, a master named Hunang, absolutely nailed it. He said that our self-nature, our basic fundamental essence, is identical. It's already perfect. The only difference is whether that nature is clouded by delusion, which makes us a sentient being, or if it's clear and awakened, which reveals us as a Buddha. Let's think about it like this. A Buddha is just a sentient being who has woken up. And a sentient being is just a Buddha who hasn't woken up yet. They are not two different things. They're the same being, just seen at different points on a timeline of awareness. One is the past version, the other is the future. And this is where it all stops being philosophy and gets really, really personal. So what does this actually mean for you, right here, right now? How does knowing this change anything? Well, the implication is both incredibly simple and totally revolutionary. The goal isn't to go find some Buddha out there. The entire journey is about realizing that your own mind, in its purest, most fundamental state, is the Buddha.
So what's the path then? It's not about trying to become some different, better person. It all starts with recognizing that this potential, this Buddha nature, is already inside you. The whole spiritual journey isn't about building something new. It's about uncovering what's already there. It's simple waking up to the perfect, brilliant nature that's been waiting for you all along.
So we come full circle, right back to Su Dongpo and the Master. If what you see out in the world is just a reflection of what's inside you, and if your deepest, truest nature is that of an awakened Buddha, what do you choose to see when you look at other people? And maybe even more important, what do you see when you look in the mirror?